OG Hollywood did 25 years in prison. We both was on Ferguson unit, similar to what Angola would be in state prison in Louisiana, right? But at one time, all three of us, right, was just young black kids growing up in the neighborhood, in the community with our brothers, our sisters, our parents, and everything, right? At what age or what event turned Terrance Williams into gangster, as everybody knew him from New Orleans? I mean, if you just had to say.
I would say this. I was 11 years old when Birdman first came pick me up, but I didn't become gangster till 93, 94. That's when I took the lid off, because I was Lil Gangsta at first. When I started feeling myself, and I was like, man, I've been out there stepping and doing, whatever you're supposed to do out there in the streets. And I was like, all right, ain't no more Lil Gang, I'm gangster now. So like 93 is when I really started getting noticed. 94, it was up and stuck. But yeah, I started out at 11 years old, running and then going to juvenile jail, getting into the law.
I mean, like what was it like? You had an incident with a gun, or not what was it, but like y'all jumped on somebody real bad. Like, at what point did you cause seriously bodily injury to somebody in a dispute you was with?
Hey, yo, you say jump? No, we weren't doing that back then. No, indeed, he jumped on the run. I was little. It was a violent act that took place.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not at liberty to really speak on it, because stuff like that don't have no statute of limitation.
Right.
But yeah, I was young.
I got you. OG, what you got next?
So let me ask this Civilian Williams. So at I had to get that in there, man. So exactly what was you convicted for, right? And how much time you do in a federal prison?
I was convicted for continuing criminal enterprise, solicitation to commit murder. I was one of the youngest one to be charged with that. It's a kingpin charge, 848. I was given a life plus 20. I got locked up March 6, 1998. I was sentenced June 24, 1999. My case got overturned because they gave me a life for 2 murders. I was never indicted, never charged for these murders. It just enhanced me for them. My case got overturned in March 6th of 2002, and the judge gave me life again. He just ran it concurrent with he ran it 20 years concurrent with my life sentence.
Right. Well, shit, I gotta ask you. In that case, because we see a lot of people starting to catch that case now, you being one of the first persons they taking it to the streets with, right? Just to get rid of you and pretty much throw us away, right? And now in hip hop, we see a lot of people catching RICOs and different things like that, right? Similar to the charge that you had with the continuous criminal enterprise, excuse me. This here, did anyone or individual snitch on you in that case to get you a life sentence? Because everybody say you a snitch, but coming into the system, did snitching put you in the situation that you got in?
Okay, I had 8 co-defendants. None of my co-defendants told. None of them. The reason I got life sentence because it was a guy I was cool with in the jail named Robert Moody from the 11th Ward. He went to the feds and wore a wire on my co-defendant in the jail, and one of my co-defendants being Blabber went to talking about crimes, and by me having the leadership role, the boss role, they enhanced me, gave me a life for 2 murders. He was never charged, never indicted for them, just because my co-defendants talk about him, and then when I was on the street, my phone was tapped. So when a little homie ran in through the gun, my co-defendant was in a car in a project, and it was task force day. He had to shop in the car, and this fool, he didn't run the police, right? He stayed there, so he got out the car. Police grabbed him, the other dude running through the gun. Police find a gun. They bring him to jail. He called me and said, "Look, they about to put a warrant for your arrest." So I'm on the phone fussing. As I'm fussing, I call Birdman. I said, "Yo, get the lawyer ready. I'm about to hurry up, turn myself in, try to hurry up, bond out. But I'm on, I think parole. I think I'm on parole at this time. Yeah, I'm on parole at this time. So we get in New Orleans, we used to get probation bond, not parole. But I'm thinking I could try to get up out. So he was like, "What happened?" I said, "Man, a homie ran through the gun." He said the gun was dirty. I said, "Man, that was Calio." He said, "Oh." So they took that with me and him talking, and they took with my co-defendant and just said, by the preponderance of the evidence, I hold you accountable for these murders, and gave me life.
Gave you life. Now, for those listening, listen, I'm talking about the people that think they gangsters, the people that think they street. Listen what he say. He said he had 8 co-defendants, and everybody held their own without turning state evidence. So what the state did was use people in a cell with them. Listen how wicked and how confusing this may be. They use the motherfucker you laying down borrowing a suit from to get you to confess to. And this ain't the first time they done this. You know, me, Terrance, and Hollywood understand that. But this is what y'all don't understand, the extent and level these people are willing to get evidence or fabricate evidence, right? When they want you, right? So again, it's all gee, ha, ha, and you know, everybody Teflon Don until the bullshit kicks in. And hey, you get in them situations where you need to borrow a suit from a nigga and a nigga let you use the phone and use his credits and all that, and the whole time he working with them people, man. You know what I'm saying? So go on, Hollywood, what you got next?
So, man, you know, we always hear this word and that shit get used loosely, right? Just say, for instance, I go to jail on a case, right? And everybody's still in the streets. And ain't nobody in jail with me, so they don't know how the fuck I got out. But all of a sudden I get out, without them knowing how I got out, they call me a snitch or I'm an informer, right? So let me ask you this, from your perspective, what is a snitch or a rat to you?
A snitch is this. Whenever the police pull you over, whoever it is, if you go to the interrogation room and sit down and cooperate with them people, get them people a statement, you snitching. As we came up, we knew when the police pull us over, bring me to my jail cell, or I want my lawyer. These days, these guys giving these statements, and people are like, oh, that's cool. He ain't locked nobody, he ain't put nobody in jail. Man, you just told, this is what the feds do. When you get them information, they don't act on it right away. They put it to the side as they build a case on you. So when people thinking they're not harming people, you are. When you get a fed somebody's name and you drop it, what's going on, who all played a part in that, just because they didn't get arrested right then and there, you still snitched on them. But these days, you know, these youngsters, they make the rules and breaking the rules, just like how the federal do, make the rules and break the rules, right? Yeah. But anybody that sit down with law enforcement, no matter what it is police, DEA, ATF, whoever it is, you sit down, you go in the interrogation room, you snitching, because we all know. Like, prime example, this is why my people don't want to mess with me. I could tell y'all I went in the room and just said this or did this, but I'm the only one in the room. So how can we take your word? Because once you go in that room, you violate. No matter what, you violate. So when you go in that room and talk to the people, man, you snitching right now. We don't know what all you told the people. We wasn't in there. You know, right. So to keep your name clean, man, stay out the interrogation room.
Yeah, stay out them situations.
Facts.
Real quick, the next question I got here, it says, okay, so you in there, you got the life sentence. I did 8. Hollywood was sentenced to life. He did 25 years on a life sentence in state prison, right?
Mm-hmm.
We asked everybody that come in the day room this, and you probably got much respect on many yards. But what was your hardest day in the time that you did? What day did you realize, like, damn, man, this shit ain't gonna end? What was your hardest day or the hardest situation in there for you?
When Hurricane Katrina hit. For Hurricane Katrina, I was in the penitentiary, USP McQuarrie, in Pine Knot, Kentucky. And when Katrina hit, I was like, whoa. Man, I can't be able to help my. And I'm looking at this stuff on the news. It's like, you know, we used to that being in third world countries or, you know, other places. I'm not used to that being in the United States, but in New Orleans where it hit home. And I'm like, whoa, you know what I'm saying? So that was the hardest. Other than that, everything else, you know, I never had problems in prison. I've never been extorted. I've never been beat up. I've never been robbed. I've never had those kind of problems. Never.
Right. What you got? What you got, Hollywood?
So man, let me say this. So like CO said, man, he did his 8, I did 25, and you did your time in the federal prison. However, a motherfucker snitched on me, you know, and I wasn't the only one in the case. But I didn't go in the interrogation room because I was up under the impression and I was cut from the cloth where a motherfucker said you keep it real, right? But on the back end of that shit, by me keeping it real, motherfucker didn't keep it real with me. And the whole time I'm on the outside of the room and these motherfuckers going through the back door. And I'm the youngest one in the crew. I get a life sentence, they get set free, right? But let me ask you this, man. At what point in your sentence, right, did you decide to cooperate for your freedom?
It started in 2005 for Katrina, right? I knew this this DA. He had retired from being a DA. He retired from being a homicide detective. He became a DA. So I reached out to him. I was talking to him because when I went to get resentenced, they was gonna give me 30 years at first. Then the prosecutor was like, "Well, yeah, how can we let him out?" And he won't apologize for these murders. He won't tell us what happened or who done them. You know what occurred, doing all this other stuff. So I was like, man, every time I file something, they keep bringing up these murders. I said, okay, I know somebody who worked in the DA office. So when I reached out to him, I got immunity. I gave him the homicide. Everything I'm telling y'all is in my paperwork. Is on paper. You can look my paperwork up. Everything. So once I spoke with him, the prosecutor still didn't file a motion because how the prosecutors work, if you don't really help them or do something for them, they're not really trying to help you. But the law states if you help any law enforcement agency, and a lot of people keep saying that I got out just for telling them I'm dead. I've never said that. You can't find that nowhere on the internet that I say that. What happened was when I did my interview with Vlad, go back and review the Vlad interview, I let him know when Donald Trump took office, when Donald Trump signed the First Step Act in 2018. That's how a lot of us who were bound by the guidelines back then, who were stuck in prison, were able to file motions, action in court to reduce our sentence because of this new law that's out. Yes, I gave up the homicides in the state. So the federal prosecutor or the DA wrote the letter to the federal prosecutor, and the federal prosecutor told the judge, okay, Your Honor, he have told the truth on all these homicides, what happened with him. And with the motion we filed for the First Step Act, that's how my sentence was reduced. It wasn't just because I snitched on the day to get out of prison. But when people say that, I just let them talk. It helps me with content and give me more interviews.
Yeah, no, I get it. I get it. That First Step Act made everybody who filed a motion case be reviewed. And when your case got reviewed, you already realized what was holding your case up to begin with. Yeah, and you say, hey, I already put a check by that. So normalize me. Yeah, normalize me. Because this is what y'all been denying me for at every time I done came up and fought this case. Right?
Let me tell you something, bro. I had a sentencing hearing, right? The judge took me from life to 27 years. But he told the prosecutors, well, the prosecutors asked him, can he contact the victim's family? So the judge gave him 30 days to contact the victim family, to get a statement from them to see how they feel about me getting to prison. Now, mind you, I wasn't charged for these homicides. So the victim family really didn't have a say-so in the matter. They just enhanced me and said by the preponderance of the evidence, meaning that we have enough circumstantial evidence to say, okay, you did these murders. All this in my sentencing transcript. Everything I'm telling you is on page. You can look it up. So from there, that's what really, that's what helped me out, because once the family was able to get these statements, the prosecutor told the judge, well, hold up, Your Honor, even though the victim family don't have no say-so in this matter, by the courts allowing us to contact them, thank you. So I'm like, whoa, so you telling me y'all make this law saying this, but then y'all gonna break the law because the judge and the victim family could have impact my sentence, because the judge could have came back and say the prosecutor was pushing for me to get 40 years.
Right.
By the victim family, all right, they couldn't contact one of the victim family, but the other, one of the murders, it was a mother and 3 daughters. 2 of the daughters was like, no, we found him dying in prison, and one of them was the mother, and the other daughter was like, well, we don't really know how to feel, because it's not going to bring out my son back, and she was like, not going to bring my brother back. So my lawyer, we had to wait 30, at least recently we had to wait 30 days for him to sign off for it to go into effect. And once he couldn't contact one of the victim family, but he contacted the other, and my lawyer was like, well, Yana, we think we should still speak with you resentencing. I think it was October 26th. And the judge went with it and gave me an immediate release.
Right. That's dope, man. I get it, man. Again, it's all these little circumstances that he could freely say nah. But when he was in there, he was in that motherfucker sweating bullets, saying, praying to the east, the west, the north, and the south. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, hey, because you don't know the outcome. And that's the stress level that you're dealing with. You don't know what the happening, who they gonna call, who gonna say what in 30 days, and everything is depending on you getting immediate release or you doing another 20 years, man. Come on.
Let me tell you something. Bro, that was the longest, that was like the longest in my bid, right? Them 30 days. And then I see the man, the officer that worked in R&D, the R&D is records, right? That's where they calculate your time and do all that. I go up there here. Well, for child time, he say, hey, man, you getting out this year, huh? I said, yes, I'm getting immediately. He said, no, you should be getting out around August. I said, no, you tripping, man. So at this time, I don't have good time because I got a life. But I'm calculating everybody. I was like, hey, man, I'm going to tell you, and I'm doing this. I said, you should be getting out around. So, man, I must have done almost the whole dawn, right?
Yeah.
So now, so when I calculate mine, I said, once they kick my good time in, I'm like, actually like 3 to 5 months, somewhere up there over my sentence. So I go up to the